Okay, I think we can start.
Yes, I think so.
We had some little delay to have people coming in. So good morning, good evening. We are happy to meet again for our mutual learning workshops, where we listen to each other to learn and to get ideas and inspirations to share visions for the future, for our developments. So today we have 3 presentations. One is from Palestine, will be Ahmed, the speaker. The second will be from Thailand. It will be the team, Wantanese team. I don't know who will be the speaker, but you will tell us later. And then we have Janet from the UK. So we have about half an hour for each presentation, including questions. So that's all. And I invite Ahmed to present his.
So Ahmed, I'm just about to hand the hosting over to you so you can share the screen. But you'll need to notice if somebody's wanting to come in and admit them. And I just want to tell everybody that Katerina has just joined us.
Good morning, Katerina.
Hi, everybody. Hi. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. There, Ahmed, you have the screen and you're the host.
Okay.
Oh, and I better record it, hadn't I? Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I can't. Ahmed's going to have to do that.
Yes. You have to take back the host privilege.
Yep.
Okay, let me see.
And so I invite everybody to switch off the microphone. But the
Ahmed,
speaker.
I'm just having to play with this for a minute. I need to give it back to you.
I actually started the recording.
Yes, I'm sorry. I had to take it back to. Oh, you started it. Okay. I hope it's still going to work then. I hope I haven't ruined it.
Well, I also record on my side using another software. So
okay.
that's a backup for you. Oops. Should I start?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
Good times, everyone. Thank you for attending today's workshop as part of the EASTIN series of workshops. I'd like to introduce myself. Beginning, my name is Ahmed Issa. I'm an assistant professor of mechatronics at Azhar University of Gaza. I'm also a board member at the Higher Council of Innovation and Excellence in Palestine, the director of iCare project co-funded by the Erasmus Programme under the European Commission funds. Today I would like to talk about our efforts in my university and in the project in the fields of disability technologies and related rehabilitation technologies. I'll try to make my presentation as quick as possible since I understand it's 30 minutes. A little bit background about my university. It's a Palestinian non-profit public university, a non-politically biased university. It's one of the major universities in Palestine, established in 1991. So it's relatively a young university. We at AUG have an equal opportunity policy towards employment and student admission. We have no discrimination whatsoever against the disabled students or people applying for jobs. We have 2 campuses. The old campus is in the Gaza city, and the new one is in the southern part of Gaza. Up to now, about 34,000 students graduated from Azhar University, and we have roughly, on average, about 15 to 16,000 students enrolled at all times. Plenty of bachelor degree programs and master's degree programs. And recently we got approval for having 3 PhD programs. We have 12 faculties, as I said, plenty of programs in the undergraduate level, about 76 bachelor degrees, 27 master's degrees, and 3 PhD degrees offered to us. In terms of the faculty titles, we have, the conventional or classical distribution of faculty specialties. The most famous faculties would be the engineering and information technology, medicine, dentistry, and the applied medical sciences. Engineering and applied medical sciences are the ones most related to the rehabilitation and disability fields, as we have learned through our iCare project practices. We have plenty of or several service centers, including foods analysis, chemical and poison analysis, environmental and water studies, some related to humanitarian and legal issues. Some of these centers are related to agriculture and administration as well. And we hope to add in the future a new block here as a center related to disability and rehabilitation technologies. These are, 2 photos of the main campus in the Gaza city, and the one on the right is the new campus in the southern part of Gaza. AUG in general recognizes the importance of sustainable development, and it has given a special care recently to the issues related to disabilities and human health technologies. Therefore, it's evident in the last 4 years we have succeeded to obtain or gain funding for 3 major projects in the field of medical sciences, health-related sciences, and rehabilitation technologies. One of them is co-funded by the EU, Erasmus project, which is iCare project. The other ones are co-funded by the World Bank. These 3 main projects are about 3 years of lifespan, and they target mainly the mechatronics students, medical devices engineering students, and physiotherapy students in a very unique mix of multidisciplinary domains in order to encourage those students to innovate new solutions specific for people with disabilities. As we target any topic in Azhar University or try to develop something, we have a general approach which deals with focusing on the graduates as well as improving the academic infrastructure, curricula, laboratories, and also collaborating very closely with the public sector or the private sector that deals with that. So in terms of disabilities, we have succeeded thus far in collaborating very closely with rehabilitation and health technology sectors, either locally or globally. And what we rely on as well is we mix our academics and technical staff members from different domains so that we try to become closer to what the real problems are, and trying to come up with very efficient solutions, regardless of technical solutions or curricular development solutions. And we have succeeded during the iCare project in contributing to bridging the gap between the academia and the job market requirements based on some of the things that I will present today, and also the files that I will send you after the presentation. It has some reports showing how we were able to determine the market needs, and those market needs were reflected on the curricula, the existing curricula of physiotherapy and engineering programs at Azhar University. A quick view of what we have found during our assessment studies is that there are some areas of employability when we talk about rehabilitation technologies and AT. In terms of the skills that the graduate has to gain, those are indicated here as design, development skills, research skills, and manufacturing skills, sales and service delivery skills. Those have to be infiltrated into academic programs. And there are 4 major thematic areas of rehabilitation engineering that we spotted during our studies that we have to teach those graduates engineering concepts and problem-solving techniques in general. They have to be taught a little bit about the medical domain, some information also and knowledge about assistive technologies, and they have to acquire a bit of personal skills since they have to deal with a very unique or special category or group of people. Okay, and we pride ourselves in playing a major role with very unique partners, including EASTIN and AAATE, as a result of the iCare project efforts. Also, we have very major universities, local universities, working together with us, as well as rehabilitation, or the only rehabilitation hospital in Gaza is a partner in this project, in addition to very distinguished 4 European universities. I believe Moitza agrees with me that URI is one unique center for rehabilitation technologies. I can tell on the level of Europe. The activities and achievements that we carried out or we achieved thus far in iCare, I will not bother you much with this. I can refer you to the let's say the website and the publications shared with you after the presentation. But briefly, there are 3 major universities in Gaza that had their curricula developed or enhanced towards rehabilitation engineering. And we have achieved training of several academic staff members during the 4 missions that were carried out in Europe. We have carried out several innovation and hackathons and similar activities to encourage students, our students, to think critically about disability. And what we did there in our design is we mixed the students with groups of people with disabilities in those activities. So, during a hackathon, you usually find mentors or supervisors of ideas. Those guys mainly were people with disabilities. So the ideas were sharpened based on the needs or the actual needs of those people. We also recently finished holding the iCare Tech 2020 conference. And that was a major success from my point of view, and based on the feedback from collaborators, since it was all of it was run virtually online due to COVID-19, but this did not prevent a wide range of audience attending and an appreciable amount of scientific papers accepted in the conference from different countries all over the world. We have also recently succeeded in developing a gadget or a tool, let's say, for the physically disabled people on wheelchairs, to be able to have access or easy access to cars. Kareem here is the Uber version of car rentals company in Palestine. And what we did, we worked together through our students with them to develop this hoist or transportation or translation mechanism to carry the patient or the disabled person and place them in a passenger seat in the car. So we have some undergoing activities like our students are planning to organize a RehaX event as a similar event to the famous TEDx event, where we will invite people, success stories of people with disabilities to talk about their challenges, maybe try to scratch the surface of the societal perspective, not only the technological perspective of disability in the Palestinian society, by showing that disabled people can be very successful people and they can have great impact in their community. We also plan to establish a small seating technology workshop in my university, where we have learned in Ireland and in Slovenia that customization of the cushions and seat parts is something needed in many cases. So we try to walk the steps of the guys in Ireland and Slovenia and establish a seed of seating technology workshop in my university. We also are on the way of purchasing 2 specialized laboratories for assessing and treating some of the locomotive disabilities in Palestine. These are the following are photos showing how we focused very much on the young students throughout several activities, as I said, encouraging them to innovate some solutions. What you can see here is a prototype bionic arm. I hope you can see my mouse walking around, floating in the screen. And on the right-hand side is a mimic or a prototype similar to the Armino spring for the upper limb rehabilitation device. Those are efforts from students. As you can see in our, as I said, students with disabilities are a major concern throughout our activities. This was during the visit of the Bulgarian partner to Gaza, where they have carried out an academy for civic and social innovation field, which was a new topic related to encouraging students not only to look for financial profit, but also in the service of the society and the civilization, there is a profit of some kind. So their mentalities were affected during this 4 days activity very, very positively. More activities in the photos. Okay. Here, a visit to the post-polio center and the prosthetic center, which is a very, let's say, classical way of making prosthetics in the Gaza Strip. It's under the municipality of Gaza, this center. We sent our students there to get some training. Here are training on some of the OT. I believe this photo on the left-hand side is an OT, some OT tools and some medical devices, I believe, for measuring EMG, maybe, or neurological signals. And in 2019, actually, I have to say this: since 2017, we determined to carry out unique activities during the first few days of December, which coincides with the International Day of Disability. And in 2019, we carried out a hackathon. We called it COPE hackathon. EASTIN and AAATE were partners in this COPE hackathon, and thankfully, thanks to Renzo, he recorded a video instructing our students how to approach AT solutions. And about the iCare Tech 2020 conference, loads of details you will find in the booklet I will attach to you, but I can shortly say that it's an IEEE endorsed conference, which means all publications will be published on IEEE Digital Explorer Library, which is Scopus indexed. EASTIN has one of those publications. I attach it for you as well. You can have a reading of it. And the thematic areas actually of this conference were rehabilitation technologies, assistive technologies, rehabilitation assessment technologies, case studies and rehabilitation technology evaluation, rehabilitation technologies in practice. And here are some indicators showing how many countries actually participated in the conference and how many organizations, how many contributions were there as well. So in general, as I told you, I can consider this conference was a major success since it's the first of its kind. The beautiful smile of Renzo here during the discussion session following his keynote speech. The video, I will finish editing your video, Renzo, today, and I will attach it also with the files so that the colleagues can watch it. And this photo shows Renzo and Luke attending. Since Luke Dewitt, if you are aware of Professor Luke, was also another keynote speaker in the conference. I can focus here on Renzo's keynote speech recommendations. We took some recommendations from his keynote speech, is that having a national network of assistive and rehabilitation technologies service providers is an important thing to be done in Palestine, where it combines researchers, stakeholders, and everyone involved. And the organization of this sector should be a national priority. Developmental works and projects are highly encouraged, especially on the educational and research levels. And there are several best practices available too. Some challenges facing the low-resource countries such as Palestine. So we can benefit a lot from those best practices and try to walk the steps of the developments that were carried out in European countries. It was a very fruitful speech, and we benefited a lot from that. I'm not sure how am I doing on time, Renzo. How much time have I left? Because I still have some.
Yes, I think you should close in 2 minutes.
Okay. So I will give the presentation slides to you guys, but maybe I will focus on some important statistics. The reason we focused on youth people in our activities and projects is that they form the majority of the population in Palestine and especially in the Gaza Strip. And if we look at statistics which are specific to disabilities, different types of disabilities in the columns here, and the distribution on the gender, we can see that mobility in the middle, right in the middle, forms the majority of, or the main kind of disability that we find in the Gaza Strip due to several reasons, chronic, accidental, or, due to conflicts. But this made us focus on the locomotive type of disabilities in our project since it's the main time. There are major key players in Palestine and Gaza, including the ministries and some international organizations and NGOs, and some of the initiatives made by youth people like incubators and hubs. They all try to scratch the surface of dealing with disabled people, but there is nothing concrete up to now in let's say laws or bylaws governing how to let's say include those people more in the society. There are no concrete policies on what percentages of employment should be there in companies, for example. There is a lot of effort that has to be done amongst those major players. We hope that Al-Azhar University can play a major role in this in the future. We did our part up to now, but there is much to be done in the future. What we noticed that disabled graduates or graduates with disabilities have major strength in working in ICT fields and outsourcing domains. And this requires a substantial amount of skills to be given to those students. Not all types of jobs, and I believe maybe in most countries, not all types of professions are accessible to people with disabilities. And maybe it is something that we all can work on in the future. I can't recall in my batch of study back in the days any student or fellow student who had visual impairment or audio disability who made it through the engineering college. That is just an example of my mind now. So I can't stop wondering how we can make no discriminations at all in the fields of education to students who have different kinds of disabilities. It's a major challenge. So I will leave you maybe with that. And, yeah. These are my contacts, project contacts. And I would like to thank you very much, and I'm ready to answer any question. Thank you.
Thank you, Issa. I'm just going to take the hosting back from you.
Yes.
Thank you. And it appears that recording's going well, so thank you.
I'll stop sharing again.
Okay. So thank you very, very much, Ahmed. It's clear you are doing an impressive work in trying to mobilize all competencies, and I think of the creativity of students. It seems from your slides that compared to what happens in the Congress in Central Europe, you have a lot of young people, while we often have congresses with very old people like us. So I think there is a great potential. So there is time for a couple of questions from the other colleagues. So please, if you have questions, just switch on the microphone and say your name.
Ahmed, it's Janet. I was wondering how disabled people in Palestine generally find out about assistive technology. Do they use the EASTIN website, for example, or are there other resources which are available?
Yeah, actually, it's mainly through non-governmental organizations or the Ministry of Welfare that they find out about the help they can get or the tools they can get for cheap prices or sometimes for free. I can assure you, EASTIN is still not a source of information for the disabled people in Palestine. I even doubt that it's for the professionals. Maybe on the professional level, some people are aware of the EASTIN network. Maybe it's something that we can work on in the future by having an Arabic version. Maybe that will help a lot.
Maybe it's also, I'm also curious to know about how easy or difficult it is to import assistive products into Palestine. Yeah.
That was one of the slides I skipped. It's one of the major challenges, especially when it comes to high-tech equipment. There are restrictions on the import of high-tech into Gaza, especially. But through international non-governmental organizations, some of the equipment managed to get in, but that makes it also not accessible to a wide range of people. I am aware of an organization that is based in Italy, EducAid, maybe you have heard of it. It has a branch in Gaza, and they have managed to ship some assistive technologies and rehabilitation equipment. Not the sophisticated ones, not the ones that you see in the most advanced rehabilitation centers, but relatively they are advanced in the Gaza market.
I think that due to time constraints, we have to close, and thank again Ahmed for that. And I can confirm that as EASTIN, but also you can rely on the support of all partners. And now, especially with these distant tools, we can be in Palestine without complicate, let's say, entrance procedures.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so thanks again, and see you in December. I think the 1st of December to finish our series of workshops. So stay safe and have a nice day.
Yes, everybody stay
nice
safe.
night.
Goodness me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.